So for those that don't know me, hi, how you doing? Now, I briefly talked about lost media before, so here's a summary of what exactly it is. Lost media are pieces of media that became that way in the following scenarios. Either it never made it past the pre-production phase, was shelved away by its distributor before it could be released to the public, or it did air after all, but no existing archives of it can be found anywhere today, completely or fully intact. The Lost Media Wiki acts as an entire archive of these anomalies, with each page talking about what they are, when they were made and aired, and whether or not they've been successfully found, or the entire thing, or at least a varying portion of it, is still considered lost to this day. Our subject today is going to be about one of the latter cases, one that not even I have heard of before when I had this whole thing in conceptual phase. C.L.Y.D.E is a Canadian-French animated series that aired from 1990 to 1991 with a total of 26 episodes throughout the span of one season. You know, I should probably start making an account for these things. This is actually suggested to me by my friend Emma, who found a journal entry on DeviantArt of all places, made by someone under the alias of Weird, detailing what he himself knows about it. Now, truth be told, before working on this, I tried my best to find this series in full anywhere, at least for the English dub, because that's how confident and determined I was to find these things, but my search barely turned up anything for it. Luckily, I was able to find a couple episodes of it myself, on both YouTube and the Internet Archive, including the first episode. Granted, most of the episodes that resurfaced are all under the French dub, but I might as well take what I have on my deck anyway. Anyhow, let's get right to it.
So is it any wonder people are afraid of technology?
Technology!
Somewhere deep in space, on the well-made, robot-inhabited planet of Mastoid 1, a trial is in progress for a supercomputer known as the Computer-Linked Yield-Driven Entity, otherwise known by its acronym as C.L.Y.D.E. Now, C.L.Y.D.E is put on trial because he's developed a virus known as, get this, a sense of humor, which goes against everything they stand for. Both the judge and the jury find him guilty and sentence him to be banished from his planet and launched deep into space. Meanwhile on Earth, we are introduced to the following: Alberto, a runner of his own diner and a collector of fancy electronics, Ruby, a cool-headed waitress that works for Al, Samantha, a young tech whiz, and her brother Matt, a boy who likes to act as a hero if necessary. I think. As C.L.Y.D.E enters Earth's atmosphere, an army base tracks him down and finds him about to land behind Alberto's, which Sam and Matt witness and recover him just in time as the military arrives looking for him. Finding a place to hide him, Sam gets the idea of wiring him to a jukebox that Al got, and thus, C.L.Y.D.E is reactivated to life. After C.L.Y.D.E introduces himself, Matt and Sam need to find a solution to drive the military away. C.L.Y.D.E devises a plan to cut off their communications and beams the two into cyberspace. Taking a train to the military base's network, a group of troublesome computer bugs board as well, and you know what? How about we just save them for later? Matt and Sam arrive where the base's network is and find the only way to cut off communications blocked off. C.L.Y.D.E beams them into the inside of the base where Matt distracts the guards and Sam fiddles around to deactivate the firewall, granting access to the communication board and shutting them down, completing their mission. Back at Al's, the general gets phoned in about the issue and decides to call off the search. C.L.Y.D.E beams the kids back home and they tell C.L.Y.D.E about how exciting it all was, and thus, marking the start of their newfound friendship. And that's it for the first episode. Now, with all introductions aside, let's go off what we know about the show itself. At least, as of now, anyway.
You fool! I have 70 alternative accounts!
Okay, so to start with the deets about C.L.Y.D.E, let's go over the show's formula. A problem occurs in the real world, usually involving technology. C.L.Y.D.E beams Matt and Sam into cyberspace to get to their destination. Along the way, they encounter escape the bugs. Matt and Sam solve the problem before traveling back again to home. Rinse and repeat. You got all that? Good. Alright, now let's talk about C.L.Y.D.E himself. Now, besides being the star of the show, and since he is a supercomputer, C.L.Y.D.E can do anything. He could beam people in and out of cyberspace, he could control other machines if he wants, he could transfer to his jukebox for if he needs to, and apparently he could do telekinesis. At least that's what I know from the cover image here. Plus, there's also his personality to speak of. He's charismatic, he's clever, and he's a real wisecracker. Not to mention how, let's say, exquisite his language can be.
Hi! Bye! Ever since Roboland came to town, the bugs have been going bonkers.
Okay, I got it.
Mille excuses, Matt.
Now for each problem that C.L.Y.D.E, Matt, and Sam face, they usually come in the following. Sometimes it'd be aliens who want C.L.Y.D.E for themselves. Sometimes it'd be other humans with their own devious deeds. And other times it would be somebody else. For example, there was one episode where the son of a technician took the role of an anonymous hacker, and the reason why he did is because he just wanted to be with his father more. It's clever, but it's also a little sad if you think about it. There was also one episode where C.L.Y.D.E sent Matt and Sam to his home planet to retrieve a part to repair him after being an unfortunate victim of an electrical surge. Throughout Matt and Sam's travels through cyberspace, they would often encounter a group of 4 troublesome computer bugs who immediately cause mischief wherever they go. You know, as all computer bugs do. There's Glitch, the orderly leader of his group who always demands yes or no as an answer for every question he asks. Peak, a rather timid member who tries her best but would even get the blunt of her group. Crab, a rather loose cannon who always finds a chance to. And the last bug, it's unknown what his name is, so for now we're just going to refer to him as Zip. Now Zip would often get into arguments with Glitch over anything, including being the leader of their group, but that's all I learned about him, so take that as you will. And that's all I have to say about it. Yeah, I know it's kind of weird for me to end this much sooner than I should, but with what little information I have of the show, there isn't really anything interesting for me to talk about. Now the show was created by the Cookie Jar Group, otherwise known back then as Sonar. If you've been following them, you would know that they've been absorbed by WildBrain, therefore give them the rights to the show.
Delicious!
Considering the shitload of programs they have, being the acquisition powerhouse that they are, they would air full episodes of their shows for free on YouTube. Now with this information, you think they would do the same thing for C.L.Y.D.E on any of their channels, except there are no traits of the show available for them either. Maybe they haven't checked through Cookie Jar's library about it, or at least overlooked it. Maybe they are aware of it and they're either in the planning stages of releasing it anyway, or just simply choosing not to. But I digress. Anyhow, I think I've said my 2 cents about the show. That's about we wrap things up just to get this done and over with. Alright, so what are my final thoughts? Animation. The animation was really swell. It was all a joint effort by both Cookie Jar, as I said before, and Moonscoop, also otherwise known back then as France Animation. The character designs are actually fun to look at, the backgrounds really feel vibrant, and everything else about it is just visually nice. Also, I don't know why, but the style in general makes me think that it more so comes from the United Kingdom than from Canada. I think it could be because of the good pickup of the shows from that time, but that's just me. Writing was not bad. I like the different themes the series went for, and the characters in terms of their personalities. Though, the only character I think could do a little more oddity in terms of it is Matt. What I could tune up for him is how he looks up on being the hero and save the day, while also overcoming his own admirations and weaknesses. I think that's what I could do best for him. Dialogue. Now, while I'm mainly just going by the French dub at this moment in time, either way, dialogue was great. While each of the characters' voices really helped stand them out, the ones I liked the most were from C.L.Y.D.E and the Bugs. C.L.Y.D.'s I liked especially as it helps with how expressive and witty he is, and the dialogue for each of the Bugs help with their personalities too. Like how Krabs is more loud and more powerful, while Peaks is more timid and sensitive. Music had a really good flow going. I liked each of the music choices that were done throughout the show. For example, both Owl's Diner and C.L.Y.D.'s Room have a whole 60s, 70s choice of music. While it's not really my thing, I still appreciate it regardless. While Owl's is a more slower mix, C.L.Y.D.'s is more upbeat and lively. I also like the theme going out for cyberspace. It has a whole tech-like and ethereal vibe to it all. I mean, it is after all.
Technology!
Overall, C.L.Y.D.E is a really good show all around. A nice cast of characters, really good music, and a really interesting concept generally speaking. I'm just surprised at how I haven't heard of this until now. While it sucks that we don't have any other archives of this at the moment, personally, if WildBrain decides to acknowledge it, I hope they can upload the series in full in future. Hell, maybe someone can make an online petition for them to do it. Actually, no, don't do that. Those things never work at all anyway. Well, that's another one off the list. And just in time for me to get to my next destination. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just improvise then.